Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Remember, you have greatness inside of you. Welcome back to another AB Daily News with your hockey coach, Guru Coach Frenchy. Today, episode number 229. What do you have in menu, coach, today? First of all, we have the recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Nashville Predator, game number 42. I'm going to talk about Piqué Subban ovationné by the Montreal Canadiens fans, and finally, the influence of Piqué Subban last night before the game. But before we dive in for the first subject of the day, we want to invite you. Don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey Nation Show, and leave me a comment about this episode. And let's talking about my first subject of the day. My first subject is about the recap game between the Montreal Canadiens and the Nashville Predator. Really, this was an exciting game for the Montreal Canadiens. They won by the score of 4-3 versus the Predator. First of all, I want to talk about fan players. Cole Caulfield, Jonathan Drouin, and Samuel Montembeault. For me, they was the best player for the Montreal Canadiens. Cole Caulfield is 24th and 25th goal of the season. Two of them was in the power play. Amazing, great performance of Caulfield. What about his slap shot or his one-timer shot from his own office at the dots on the right side of the goaltender? Jonathan Drouin performed very well yesterday with 3 assists during the game against the Nashville Predator. And finally, Samuel Montembeault did a really good job to keep the Montreal in the game and make them a chance to win a W. And that's what he did yesterday, faced to 42 shots with a save percentage of 9-2-9. Then I want to talk about 3 other players. First of all, Jesse Ylönen, his first game with the Montreal Canadiens since April 11, 2022. Have an amazing good game for the time he played with the Montreal. Quality minutes, I would call that way. He did an amazing great pass on the goal of Kirby Dach between the skate of Roman Ozzy and an empty net on the back door from Kirby Dach. Then we have an amazing great fight from Albert Jakai. Again, he continues to distribute body check in the defensive zone. So again, if you love Jakai, you should be happy about his performance last night. And then I want to talk about Juraj Slavkovsky. For me, this is his best game of the season. Yesterday, he was engaged, physical. He carried on the puck many times. Overall, he played very well on defensive zone coverage. A block shot. Opposite finished with -2 and 0 point, but he did a lot of things on the details of the game. He played over 60 minutes. Overall, Slavkovsky, he was for me, his best game since the beginning of the season. Now, if you are a Montreal Canadiens, you should be excited. That's what we're looking for the Montreal Canadiens. We want them to show up from the beginning to the end. Again, they gave the first goal of the game. This is their 8th straight game. The opponent team scored the first goal of the game, but they never give up. They have an amazing, great first period. Usually they don't. They have 19 shots versus or 18 shots versus 9 against the Nashville Predator. Without the performance of the rookie, his first game in the NHL as a goaltender, Askarov, the score could be 4-1 after 20 minutes. He stopped a back-to-back, couple of breakaway for the Montreal Canadiens. Jake, he did a really good job for the Preds at the beginning of this game. Then the special team, another area where Montreal struggled for the last 4 weeks. They scored 2 goals on power play, and they are 0-2 on the PKs. Overall, this is a great game for the Montreal on special team. And finally, we love the team effort yesterday. We like the work ethic from everybody. The defensive zone coverage, it was great. I feel the energy since the beginning of the game to the end, it was there. And at the end of the day, that's the reason they got the W last night against the Nashville Predator. Let's dive in, talk about the second subject. My second subject of the day, guys, about the Montreal Canadiens honor Piqué Subban last night before the game between the Nashville Predator and the Montreal Canadiens. Remember, the trade between the Montreal and the Predator, Shea Weber versus Piqué Subban. Piqué Subban in 6 years with the Montreal Canadiens, he was one of the most flashy, exciting players for the Montreal. He deserved that honor last night. But I was really impressed by Piqué again. Piqué was Piqué last night. What are you talking about first? Joined by his Children Hospital kid beside him, dress up like only Piqué can be, with a red pants and a long jacket. Really interesting is dress, but at the end of the day, this is Piqué, right? Now, his influence from Jean Béliveau make an impact during the time with the Montreal Canadiens. Have an amazing, great relationship with the wife, Jean Béliveau, Elise Béliveau. And during his speech last night, after he thanks the Montreal Canadiens, the player he played with, the teammates, the staff, and the fans of Montreal Canadiens, he recognized the impact of the Jean Béliveau and his wife during his first day in Montreal Canadiens to the end. He was really close with the family Béliveau. And what he said yesterday, guys, I was really impressed by the speech of Piqué Subban. Then at some point, he turned to the bench of the Montreal Canadiens and he said, I always felt we had an understanding that when you wear the Montreal Canadiens jersey, when you wear the CH, that you play with the same passion that your fans bring every single night to this building that we see around the city and globally. This is what he recognized the importance of wearing the Montreal Canadiens jersey. Then he turned to the fans and he said, all I want to do every time I put that jersey on was play with that passion. I hope that's the message to the current player and the player that will wear their jersey in the future, that these guys will love you no matter what if you leave it all out on the ice. This is exactly what they need, and you can feel it. The Montreal Canadiens respond after the speech of Piqué Subban. It was well said, and exactly what Piqué did with the Montreal Canadiens with the number 96. Excitement, carry on the puck, transition, the big hit. And I know it was not always right, maybe overall, in the locker room and on the ice, but at the end of the day, how can I love Piqué Subban? He leave everything on the ice, every game. It was a matter for him, and he delivered for me every time he wore the number 76. So really great speech by Piqué Subban before the game. It was well done by the Montreal Canadiens. It was not flashy with the big things, but just great way honor the number 76, Piqué Subban. This concludes this subject. Please leave me a comments about the Piqué Subban presentation before the game. And let's finishing my last subject of the day. My last subject of the day, guys, is about Colonel Carl Subban. Again, yes, this is the last time, guys, because I want to show to you what he did with the Montreal Canadiens. It could changing 3 players inside of this organization for the future. Here what I'm talking about. First of all, we just talk about the fact Subban, he left everything on the ice with his effort and his passion. He show up every single game with his heart. Then Subban, guys, he understood when he show up with Montreal, the Montreal city, and how deeply he understood his own place in Montreal. That's what he is. Remember, because Subban got a big heart, he's really a great human being. He wants to make a difference. He wants to create an impact. And for me, he have 3 things that we can learn from Piqué Subban. His legacy with the Montreal Canadiens. He can carry on for 3 other players for the Montreal Canadiens. Here, what I was just said. 3 things make him to be successful in Montreal. And 3 players could benefit of what he said, and again, review what Piqué Subban did. My first one I want to talk about this, guys, is the personality to embrace playing in Montreal. Juraj Slavkovsky. What are you talking about? First of all, Juraj Slavkovsky have a lot of pressure. Piqué Subban, he got a lot of pressure. Good or bad, he always respond to show up with enthusiasm every single day. What's the matter happened to him? It was always forget what happening, and it was show up the next day with that kind of energy and energetic and with enthusiasm, big smile. He forgot everything what happening. Juraj Slavkovsky, guys, that's who he is. If you watch him during the press conference, every time they ask a question, he said, yeah, that's over. We have to move on to the next thing tomorrow. I have to get better. He's never go down with ever happening to him. Whatever he got hit, whatever, he have always those kind of humoristic to answer back to the reporter with a big smile, because his passion is to play for the Montreal Canadiens, because he enjoy it. He love where he is right now, and he don't see any negativity around him. The personality of Juraj Slavkovsky could be what Piqué Subban did in Montreal for 6 years. The second characteristic of Piqué Subban, guys, is about been a reminder of a glorious past. And I'm talking about Cole Caulfield. Cole Caulfield can make something really special when the Montreal Canadiens. You look what happened with Sakowski tonight. Really good game. Caulfield respond with 2 goals. And he could carry on that kind of the glorious pass. The one can carry on the flambeau in French, right? Where you have player like Guy Lafleur, the Stéphane Richer score 50 goals per year. And I think Cole Caulfield could be this player for the Montreal Canadiens for the future. Finally, the last characteristic of Piquet Subban could changing someone is simply being an offensive defenseman. You have to go with Justin Barron. When you look Piquet Subban, you look Justin Barron. Now he's like, oh, I understand he's not flashy. The other one, it was like all over the map, Piquet Subban, and great declaration and then pop up in front with glass. Justin Barron is more shy behind the sign, but he has a kind of slap shot, skating, transition, move the puck. That's why he's Justin Barron. I think those 3 characteristics I just mentioned to you for the Montreal Canadiens from Piquet Subban could be an impact for 3 players, Juraj Sakowski, Cole Caulfield, and Justin Barron. So I know the last 2 days I talk a lot about Piquet Subban, the Pernell Carl Subban, but I would like to sharing what he did for the Montreal Canadiens, carry on this kind of flambeau to the 3 players I just talked about, and hopefully you enjoyed this subject. I would love to hear from you guys. Leave me a comments about his 3 characteristics that could change 3 players for the Montreal Canadiens. This concludes, guys, all my subject I have for you on this great episode. Here we go, guys. Episode number 229 is over. Hopefully you enjoy it. We talk about Piquet Subban, honestly, at the recap game between the Montreal and the Nashville Predator. Before we leave, we want to invite you, don't forget to click on the like, subscribe to Hockey Nation Show, and leave me a comment. And I will remind you one more thing. You have greatness inside of you, and I wish you an amazing, blessing day, everybody.